Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to showcase this GEC Relite industrial ceiling fan. There's a lot to talk about with this fan because these are probably one of my favourite 70s fans, but also something incredibly hard to find. Unless you're in the US, which I believe they're still hard to find, but they're common over there under Airmaster. But I have one that's branded GEC. And it's made for Australia. I do not fully know if they exist outside of Australia under the GEC label. The controller does have the British label on it, so I would assume that they were sold elsewhere as well, just hard to come by. A couple of problems with this fan. They come from a bowling alley, or abandoned bowling alley in Sydney. I got it from a friend. I don't know how long ago that would have been. I have two. I took one apart to have a look at the inside of the motor and stuff, but that one has some problems. Both the canopies were shattered, so we've improvised with these just plastic plastic bowls, and they actually don't look too bad. The bearings in them are very bad. This one's not as bad as the other one, that's why I showcase this one, not the other one. And, pretty sure this is grease stain. It's leaked through the plastic because this is actually plastic. Oh, it's hard to tell, but it's plastic. And the top of it is metal. Metal, plastic. And you can't really, if you were to get a bearing pullet in there with the bearings, you have to be very careful because it will just go straight through the bottom. But I am trying to get rid of all this. But I figured I'd make a video because I like this fan a lot. So yeah, the bearings are bad, but it's not about perfection with collecting, it's about preserving some history, and that's what makes the collection so unique. The blades are a little bit out of balance. It's hard to balance them because it's thin. I think it's aluminium, but I'm not sure. So it does wobble a fair bit, but let's get into it. And what makes this thing even better is that it is on its original controller. Although that's a bit sun damaged too, but hey, it's not about that. So speed 1 is low. This thing does have a brand new capacitor in it, so that's why it starts up fine, because the old ones in them, they were terrible. So you'll start to hear the bearings already. But as the fan does get faster on high, it actually is not as loud. You can hear the motor. The motor's got some noise to it. But the bearings sound doesn't really bother me, because it's not like it's going to be put into full-time service ever again. It's just one of those things to collect now. I'm very thankful to have it, so thank you to the private collector who shipped it to me. Yeah, these are hard to come by in Australia. I'd never seen one in person, actually, but in real estate listings and stuff, they're extremely hard to get a hold of by anyone. And if you do, it's just a matter of luck. Especially with canopies that are intact, or canopies at all, as they are very brittle because they're plastic. And the bottom of the motors do tend to go quite yellow too. See, I can already feel a gentle breeze. This thing is insane for air movement, and that's what makes vintage fans so special and collectible. Is that they're such good air performers that they can outlast anything on today's market. And this one is 56-inch. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but yeah, it runs fine. Besides the bearing noise, it's not seized or anything. Oops, we're back onto. It's not seized or anything. It's not on the verge of it. It takes like a Mistral to spin down. It takes forever. So that's good. I think it's just a bit noisy from maybe the canopies could drop some plastic in there over the years when it crumbles. So yeah. But no, other than that, this fan is really unique. Really interesting design too. The fact that half of it is plastic. And that the blades have a different mounting. They slot into the hole between the plastic and the metal motor, and it's not really like other fans where it's got pre-drilled holes. how the blades tighten is the screw goes into the holes in the blades and it tightens in the thread. So it doesn't actually screw into anything else. It just kind of tightens it on the blade. So it's not actually fixed to something. It's really interesting. I've never seen that done before, especially for a fan we get here in Australia. So I've wanted one of these since I knew they existed, which was years and years and years ago, and I've been looking for some, and I did ask one of my friends if he had some, and he did happen to have 2 he was willing to sell. So yeah, the bearings are noisy, but as I said, it's nothing too major. I'll probably maybe refurbish or replace them in the future, but right now it's not really a priority because this fan's only up for a bit. If you've been following my channel for a while, the fans kind of get their turns around the shed. That Mistral tat is new, just in case whoever's wondering. Yeah, we can already feel the air, and this is only on medium. Like, for some reason, before I started filming this video, I was just sitting under it on high, whilst making a quick video for my own sake, and I could just, I don't know why, just picture myself in a counter, working at a shop, back in the early 70s, having this thing running. I think it was on speed 4 at the time, with the nice air movement, the motor hum, air sweeping sounds. I don't know why, it just took my memory, even though I wasn't born in the 70s, it just kind of took my memory back to times where I didn't even exist. And I hadn't really felt that like that before with a fan, so considering I'd never seen one of these in person either. Yeah, these are 6-speed, like the Crompton Parkinson. These are, I'm not sure if, I have to check. I'm not sure if these were sold alongside the Queen's Air or after the Queen's Air. No, they would have been after. Never mind. They were after because there's a different, similar version of this that has a nut on it. Different blades, different motor. It's still a kind of a Relite motor. I'm hoping to get one of them in the future anyway. But those are hard to come across. There's only very handful left in Australia. So I would absolutely love to get one of those. They were only sold in 2 sizes, so this is definitely comes after it. Because GEC like to make their fans in only 2 sizes. And then later on they made the 3 sizes, the 36, the 48 and the 56. But originally it was just the 36 and the 56. So yeah, the bearings do slightly quieten down as the fan goes faster. And it has sat for years and years and years, so it probably does also need to be worn around a little bit. What I was surprised about is, like, sitting on the floor. Sometimes you can't really feel too much air from fans, but this one, it moves so much air. Even if you just sit on the floor, like anywhere in the shed, you can feel the air movement. It pushes it side to side and below. It's really cool. And it's not like some fans where you can only feel it at a certain pace. Like, if you're standing here in the same spot, sometimes you won't, the air will go away for a moment, and you won't get any air in your exact spot for a moment. But this one, no, you can actually feel it the entire time. There's no gaps in between air movement where you're standing. And it doesn't matter where you're standing either. But I'm not sure if you're going to hear the air movement sounds because the bearings are noisy, but the camera actually does make the bearings out to be louder than they actually are, to be honest. Right now I can probably hear the air movement sounds just a little bit more than the bearings, and I'm sure you guys will be able to hear the bearings louder than the air movement because that's just what the camera does. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is as fast as it's actually meant to go or if it's actually meant to go faster. But nonetheless, it's a great fan and moves that much damn air. I couldn't believe it. After this video, I might just resume taking my memory back to the 70s with this fan. I do apologise about this is a longer video. I don't like to try and make my videos over 10 minutes, but this fan, I have a lot to talk about with it, so. And it wouldn't fit in a 5-minute video. So. The bearings, I'm not going to show spin down because it'll probably be here for another 5 minutes because it does take a long time. And I'm going to turn it off actually because my hands are freezing. There's the controller. I'll give you guys side shots and everything of the controller, just so you can see it. This side's the same as that side. It's kind of, it's a unique controller, and how they come apart is very different too. Alright, well, I'm going to stop the video here, and thank you guys for watching.